Hey family, in this video is going to be my semi-thorough analysis of the book of Enoch. This first book of Enoch, one of three, consists of 5 separate books. The first one is the Book of Watchers, which basically details the account of the fall of the quote-unquote fallen angels, or what we will learn to be the Watchers. As well, Enoch gives us a description of a lot of things that the angels shown him while he was brought up to the heavens. The second book is the Parables of Enoch. This book consists of dreams, visions, and stories that Yahuwah gave Enoch concerning the righteous, the sinners, the angels, all of heaven, eternity from beginning to end. As well, Enoch is shown secrets of heaven. He sees Yahuwah. As well, we get a detailed description of the archangels and their duties. As well, we get Yahuwah's thoughts on the righteous, the sinners, the angels, their children, the giants, the Nephilim, and much more. Third book is the astronomical book. In this book, the holy angel Uriel basically gives Enoch a detailed walkthrough of all of the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, their names, their times, their seasons, how to calculate days. He makes a calendar, portals in the sky, the wind, as well as how to count the delay of days, and many other things. The fourth book is called the Dream Visions, which consists of 3 visions that Enoch had. The first one simply details the destruction of heaven and earth. The last 2 consist of the story of man on earth, using animal imagery with bears, sheep, oxen, camels, wolves, things like that. The 5th and final book is the Epistle of Enoch, or simply this is Enoch's advice prior to the end of days, or this first era of eternity. Me personally, I would take more light to it since this is coming from a man that lived a couple hundred years old.
So who is Enoch? In Genesis chapter 5, it covers the genealogy from Adam all the way to Noah. Enoch is 6th from Adam. Enoch was the first man to never die, but be translated after 365 years on earth due to his closeness with Yah and being righteous and quickly made perfect.
In Enoch's purity, he was allowed to experience the things as he did. He was practically shown the timeline from the beginning of earth, pre-flood, to the end, and then afterwards into all eternity. While on earth, Enoch was hidden for a majority of his life. No man knew where he was at, for he was with the holy ones and the angels and Yah. Most importantly, Enoch wrote the condemnation of the watchers, the wicked, and the sinners. He saw all the things that were going to happen to man prior to the day of judgment. Enoch saw all the secrets of righteousness and of heaven and earth. Here's my overview of the book of Enoch. Enoch chapter 6, Enoch tells us that as man increased, the women became more attractive. Not so long during the days of Jared, his father, about 200 angels lusted after these women, laying with them, defiling themselves, begetting children known as the Nephilim, or giants. And these giants, once unsustained by humanity, began to devour humanity, other giants, and the animals as well. This phenomena, along with all of the secret knowledge that Watchers had taught humanity, was just overall corrupting mankind and man operating as they saw fit. A lot of what you see today, which led to Yahuwah's decision to flood the earth. Here's a short list of some of the things that the Watchers had taught man. This knowledge was corrupting rather than helping. Among these things, the Watchers illegitimately taught mankind weapons of war, swords, knives, the shield, use of antimony, makeup, beautifying of eyelids, enchantments, root cutting, resolving of enchantments, astrology, the constellations, knowledge of the clouds, signs of the earth, signs of the sun, course of the moon, and other things. The ultimate result of this was that humanity was reaping great wickedness and all their ways became corrupt. Concerning the leader of the Watchers, Yahuwah punished him greatly for the things that he specifically had taught humanity. The things that he had taught humanity were things mainly to kill. Also, he had taught women beautifying of the eyelids, which is makeup, otherwise known as antimony. Here, verse 4 and under, we can see what Yahuwah said concerning Azazel. Pause to read. Upon judging the Watchers for their corruption to mankind, Yahuwah bound all of these angels or Watchers in the earth until the time of judgment. So what we experience now is not what is commonly referred to as the angels, but it's something else, which is spirits of their children, the Nephilim. Also, we can see that the lake of fire is reserved for the wicked as well as the Watchers. Yahuwah had decided that first these Watchers will see their children, the giants, the Nephilim, perish by his sword, and then they will be bound into the earth until the day of judgment. Upon these fallen Watchers knowing their judgment, they go to Enoch and plead to him to ask the Creator for mercy on their case. As Enoch approaches the Creator with the request of the Watchers, he sees these 2 houses. The first one is as crystal, and he says that it's terrifying, it's hot, and it's cold there. There's a lack of any pleasure of life. Then he describes the ceiling of this house as being as the constellation and as the night starry sky. And as well, he sees these fiery beings of light. And the second one, just as the first one, just bigger. And then as well, he sees the Creator and the Creator's throne. Enoch chapter 15, we have Yahuwah's words to the request of the watchers. For starters, Yahuwah had said that it was a sin that the angels had impregnated the women just as mortals do, for this act was against themselves and their created nature. He then goes on to say that as flesh and blood, we pass away and therefore we're mortal. Therefore, he has given us the ability to procreate and reproduce, the ability to have children and have marriage, therefore satisfying our created existential desire to become one and have unity. In point two, the angels again were made perfect, immortal. They did not have any desire to be one with anything. This act that they committed therefore goes against themselves, taking away their immortal spiritual purity. Just a thought that I had upon reading this, I think that all of the angels and heavenly bodies, all the people up there are male. Otherwise, why would these angels be allured to the beauty of women on earth if they had women in heaven? They wouldn't have had fell if that's the case. The second part of what Yahuwah had to say about the Watcher's request was about the Nephilim, the giants, their children. Yahuwah's words concerning these giants, the Nephilim, were basically that they're evil spirits. All that they did was evil continually, and that's what they decided to do on earth. So that, again, is what they ultimately became and are and always will be. Evil spirits. And these are what we experience on earth today, because the angels that corrupted man are bound in the earth, and these spirits, since they are half immortal and half mortal, half angel, half man, and being created outside of Yahuwah's will, makes them illegitimate. Therefore, due to their wickedness, Yahuwah said that when they die, when they perish, they will not be able to go into hell or into heaven above. They will stay on the earth. And these giant spirits, they here afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, work destruction, cause trouble to the spirits of man until the day of judgment. That is what we experience against us, not an angel. It's demons. That's what they're called as well. They're called demons. Not the angels, but these spirits. The giant spirits are called demons. As commonly understood, they are evil. They want nothing but bad for you, and that's what they do. And we should definitely consider and perceive them as such. Even after their flood, their remnant still remains, as there's discoveries all across the world that depict this abnormality amongst us. Everywhere, common government tries to cover it up, because this points to the biblical story being true and accurate, but the world does not want us to know this. And lastly, Yahuwah had said that all the secrets that the Watchers had shown man were worthless ones. Here in Enoch chapter 20, Enoch is shown the holy angels and their duties, and this group is commonly referred to as the archangels. Moving forward, we have Enoch's heavenly journey. Enoch is taken through different locations throughout the heavens and shown what is what and basically how things work. Importantly, along one of the places that Enoch sees, the place where we go when we die, basically. Enoch says that he saw this mountain with 4 holes in it, and the angels ultimately tell him what they are for. The first one's for the righteous, the second one's for the sinners, the third one's for the blasphemous, and the fourth is for the unbelieving. In this mountain, which I'm sure is understood to be the earth, that's where we go. Sheol, or the underworld, hell, the righteous in somewhat of a tranquil paradise, and the rest of the holy places are not so pleasant. Along his journey, Enoch sees the lake of fire, the area of transgressed stars, heaven and Yahuwah's throne, the storehouses of thunder, the wind, the hail, storm, ice, rain, the foundations of the earth and heaven. He sees the future earthly throne of Yahuwah on earth.
This is covering the directional journeys of heaven. Things that Enoch saw were the healing tree, big ravine of sorrow and wickedness. He saw these deserts of unseen trees, valleys, groves, mountains, trees with fragrant smells. He saw the garden of righteousness and the tree of knowledge and wisdom, or the tree that Adam and Eve ate from. He saw great beasts and birds and creatures all throughout heaven, differing in beauty and voice. Uriel had also taught Enoch about the stars. Enoch saw the portals that the winds blew on earth through. I also mentioned seeing this big device at the ends of heaven that emits wind, snow, hail. For the book of the luminaries, Enoch was taught the path of the stars, the moon, the sun, their names, the constellations, how to count the numbers of the days, the delay of days. Enoch was the one that made the calendar. Enoch saw all the portals in the heavens that the stars and the winds and the rain went through. He also saw their times and their months. As well, Enoch saw the white throne judgment, leading into the next dispensation of time. As well, I want to note here that I do believe that the pre-flood world had superior technology than we do today. Enoch chapter 65 verse 6 through 8 shows this. Pause and read. In Enoch chapter 69, Enoch gives us a more thorough detail of a certain amount of angels and what they taught. Things that the angels taught men were weapons of war, the sword, the knife, the shield. writing with ink and paper, the smiting of spirits and demons, the smiting of the embryo in the womb or abortion, the oath or the word that Yah used when he created creation. Most importantly, we have up here the third that was called Gadriel. This is the angel that deceived Eve into eating the apple. I just want to specifically point this one out. The derivative of that, in short, is God. And a good brother, John Truth, delivers more light on this topic. Honestly, I know the whole topic of our Heavenly Father's name is maybe a sensitive issue. Definitely look into it and have your own time researching that. Briefly, in my own research, his name, Yahuwah, means I am, I was, and I will be, which is the same thing that he's always told us. We have that in the account of Moses in the burning bush. John Truth, definitely, a lot of his information is useful. Definitely check him out. Here's some of his work. At the end of the day, definitely do your due diligence of research. Lastly, we have the Epistle of Enoch, which is basically just his advice to the righteous before the day of judgment. Again, this is coming from a 300 and something year old man, so I definitely take his advice a little bit more serious than just the casual cliches, right? Some things that Enoch says here is to love righteousness, don't hang out with the double-hearted. Violence must increase on the earth. Every evil deed is indeed written in heaven. Also here in Enoch chapter 106 verse 10, Noah may be the first albino. It says that he is white and his hair is white like the angels, and there's nobody like him. He's the first of his kind. As well, Enoch says that sin was not given to man, but man has created sin. Infertility is not given to a woman. By her deeds she dies without child. He also says, associate not with those of a double heart, of righteousness. Walk not in the path of the wicked. Be hopeful, for the sinners will perish. The righteous will have love, hope, healing, peace, and rest.